Welcome to Punk Rock Anthropology's Top Records of 2021. I know I'm horribly overdressed for this, but we're getting into it anyway. Let's start with Out in Public. God is dead and has been replaced by trans people. This album is an amazing album that came out this year, and I've talked about it before on this channel. The title of this album, the title of the tracks, it's like everything that punk rock should be right now. It's in your face, it's clever, and I feel this band has so much more to offer us this coming year. Next, another favorite on this channel is Vylan. We Live Here. Great duo out of the UK. It said that they're mixed with grime and punk, and I just think it's the shakeup we've needed for a long time. And I'm looking forward to the next album, which is called, I think, Vylan, Price of Life, and that track on there is already fire. And of course, one of the bands I talk about the most on this channel, 1876, had another album come out called Pow Wow Punk Rock 2. I love that this is a picture of his sister, and the last one was his mother. It's just this beautiful mix of indigenous instruments and punk, and it's like everything Tim Armstrong wishes he was doing right now, but, you know, it's just done with this beautiful flair. One of my favorite tracks of the album is Punks and Rude Boys. The lyrics, where are the punks, where are the rude boys, taking our voice and making no noise. It's just like such a challenge to it, and how people always front about being punk, but what are they actually doing about it? Chef's kiss. Speaking of recurring artists on this channel and duos, we have, of course, Origami Angel coming back with GAMIGANG this year. This band just keeps getting better and clever with their like pop culture references and just sick riffs and guitar work, and I'm still so speechless on how good this band keeps getting, and my biggest regret in 2020 is missing their freaking show. If you love video games, pop culture, just overall good times in pop and punk, follow this band, see them live. And of course, we needed another Sincere Engineer album, Bless My Psyche. I think we deserved it in 2021, I'm just going to say it. Sincere Engineer is such a great band just because it's very self-aware. It's kind of has a hint of self-deprecation, but it also has this really beautiful hopefulness to it too. And it's just constantly interesting, and I feel like this band definitely got its kudos this year, being on a bunch of major tours. Stay tuned for part 2 because a lot of albums came out in 2021.
Welcome to the best albums of 2021. And I know you're asking yourself, why is Allison overdressed again? It's been a weird week. But it kind of makes sense for the topic I'm talking about tonight. We are talking about ska, how it is flourishing in 2021. And guess what? It never went away. If I see that online anymore, I'm going to scream. We'll kick it off with Jeff Rosenstock's Ska Dream. You didn't think No Dream could get better, but it did. I don't know any artist who could record another album in a completely different genre and make it happen. But we all know Jeff Rosenstock has a history of being in ska. Ridiculous album, front to back, everything phenomenal. The star-studded lineup of this album, everything is amazing. Next we have Catbite off the album Nice One, also on Bad Time Records. Now this album took me a little while to get into. I listened to it maybe once or twice before seeing him at Fest, and when I saw it at Fest, I was just like, I get it now. But Catbite is really interesting because they have a really refreshing, different ska sound, I think, than what stuff has out right now. I'm not saying ever. It kind of gives me old, early No Doubt and Sniffers, but also like a little bit of madness and other two-tone influences in it. Best ska dance album, hands down. And Joystick, I can't take it anymore, is probably, it's so close to being my favorite album of this year. There's just so many great things about this album. We're talking like the breakdowns, the lyrics are so deep and insightful and really speak to me. The feature of Zach Quinn from Pear's on there. Just everything about this album you really take it to heart. And of course, one of the most important albums of this year is We Are the Union, Ordinary Life. This is an amazing album because it's super personal, it's fun, it's just groundbreaking. I've totally been listening to Morbid Obsessions on repeat all year, and just beautiful, beautiful works. And of course, you know I'm a sucker for some ska-core. And we got Best of the Worst, Better Medicine out of New Jersey. This album is exactly what ska-core should be. It kind of sets the bar very high. I love like the jazzy little layers, obviously the ska elements, the breakdowns, like everything about this, you can just tell it's all sweat, love, and tears in it. We need more ska-core in 2022, of course. And like the ska kids say, we need ska more than ever, and that's something we should definitely look forward to in 2022.
Welcome back to the third installment of the best albums of 2021. Like I told you before, there are a ton of albums that came out this last year that were just awesome, so let's get into it. Right off the bat, let's start with Amyl and the Sniffers, Comfort to Me. What I feel is awesome about this album, it definitely tops the last one they had, and it's a little more personal, just as raw, just the same kind of live energy, but you can tell the confidence in the songwriting, the confidence in the songwriter, and it's just a slamming album, and I can't wait to see them in live. Next we have the Dirty Nil, Fuck Art. I love this album cover. So the Dirty Nil took me a while to get into. I've seen them live. They're an absolutely great band live, but I kind of just didn't get what they did right away. But this album definitely rounded it out for me. It is fun. It is poppy. It's just a very fun album, and I know people rave about this album left and right, so I think it's well deserved. A band I don't talk enough about here on this channel is the Raging Nathans, Waste My Heart. This album is just good front to back. It is amazing skate punk. It's very melodic. If you like any old school skate of Fat Records to bands like the Copyrights Now, you're gonna love this album. And it's also, you know, it's witty and funny, but it also has a lot of deepness and turns to it that you probably wouldn't expect from such a lighthearted sounding album. Next we have Destroy Boys, Open Mouth, Open Heart. This band is a new band I discovered this year. This is their third album. I think it leans on the more indie garage, even dare right girl kind of sound, which is really interesting and awesome. I think this album is really fun sonically due to its kind of mixing of genres. They also mix languages on here. They also have songs in English and Spanish, which is like, I love it. I love it. I feel like this is a good representation of Hispanic and Latino people in punk. And frankly, this band just keeps getting better, so I think this is not just the peak for them. I think it's much further to go. And lastly, we have Tiger's Jaw, I Won't Care How You Remember Me. Their songwriting continues to get better and better each album, and this album is filled with infectious hooks like you know from Tiger's Jaw. Stay tuned for the last installment and leave a comment if you liked any of these albums. Also hit that subscribe button or like this because TikTok is suppressing me. Let's get into the last installment of the best albums of 2021. I only have 3 left, but I kind of saved them for the last because they're kind of my favorites. Also 2022, new hair. Let's kick it off with the band Slant. There we go. It's called Iron Lung, I think so, in Korean. I could be wrong because I'm believing the internet on this, so apologies in advance, but here's the album cover and where to find it. So if you haven't heard about Slant, which you totally should have because they're such an amazing band, it's a 5-piece hardcore band. This is their first full length from what I understand. They've released an EP and a couple other things, but this is the first full length, and I honestly think it was worth the wait because every song on this is a banger. The whole album is probably like 15-16 minutes, which is exactly what I want from this music genre. Nothing over 2 minutes, full energy from first to last note. The lead singer, I really love her voice. It's aggressive and it's good. The guitar's a little crunchy, really good power chords in it, and definitely should check it out. Next we have my favorite band I saw live this year, which is Soul Glow. Amazing, amazing show at Fest. Here is the title. There is a volume 1 and 2, so please check both of those out. What's interesting about Soul Glo is that they are from Philadelphia. They just recently signed an Epitaph this year. They released kind of 2 sections of this album. This is volume 1, and I highly recommend volume 2 as well. They are very much a hardcore band, but they also experiment with other things, kind of spoken words, freestyles, having people feature on their albums, and I think it's just really important music right now. And like I said, live show freaking killer. I know they're coming with Circus Survive and Tiger's Jaw this year, so don't miss it. And of course, everybody's album of the year, Turnstile Glow On. If the world were a fair place, I feel like Turnstile's Glow On would win album of the year for the Grammys, but you know, everything was very thought out from the execution of the album, from the colors, the layout of the album, the video to go with it, and it just really breathed fresh new life into hardcore and has just been awesome to watch all year. Thank you for taking this journey with me over 2021 and following my channel and the continued support, and stay tuned for more new music.